everyone. My name is Elizabeth Mans, and I'd like to welcome you to the April 4th Coalition Show. Let's test my brain. This is April 4th. This is the April 14th edition of the show. Our mission statement is: we are for workers' rights and collective bargaining rights, and are against tax breaks for the rich and corporations who ship our jobs overseas. We support all the articles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, but as is our custom, we put the emphasis on Article 23. Dick?
Yes. Number one, everyone has the right to work, the free choice of employment, to just and favorable conditions of work, and protection against unemployment.
Number two, everyone without any discrimination has the right to equal pay for equal work.
Number three, everyone who works has the right to just and favorable remuneration, which is any form of compensation, ensuring for herself or himself and her or his family an existence worthy of human dignity and supplemented, if necessary, by other means of social protection. Michael.
Number four, everyone has the right to form and join trade unions for the protection of his or her interests.
And as is our custom, we would like to thank the staff at Northern Berkshire Community Television Corp. for their invaluable assistance in producing the show. So a thank you to Matthew Tucker, Nicole A. Brown, and Joelle Hurlbut, and to the program director for WMNB for airing the audio portions of our show on Friday. And Dick, I see you have a new sign in front for everybody.
Yes, we do. Let freedom ring. I made that a long time ago, but I just thought I'd bring it in because it's going to be part of the theme of our show. Just like we have the sign that says poverty is the enemy, let freedom ring, because right now in our country, we really need to stand up and ring for freedom, because our freedoms are under attack, whether you're an immigrant or if you're a citizen.
They are.
Your views are under attack, who you associate is under attack. And what we need to do is have a very powerful statement from the grassroots that we're not going to let anybody turn us around, that we're going forward, and we're going to stand for freedom, just like they taught us in school. And so I wanted to remind people, I know we did this video before about the New Colossus, which was the poem by Emma Lazarus, and she wrote that poem in honor of the Statue of Liberty, which was being unveiled in New York Harbor. And we're coming upon our 250th anniversary as a country next year, in 2026. And my question is, are we going to continue on the path that this administration is putting forward? If that's the case, then we are going to have to drape it
in black. They're getting black.
Because that is not what our country is about. And so let's listen to Emma Lazarus' poem, The New Colossus.
Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land. Here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that Twin Cities frame. Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my light beside the golden door. Emma Lazarus.
I think that's the first time I've heard the poem, to be honest.
I think I heard
Of
it
it.
one time here.
Well, yeah, well, I think I must have missed that
Yes.
episode, because that's the first time I've heard it.
What did you think of it?
I think she presented a very fine rendition of what the sentiments were and what the Statue of Liberty is meant to stand for, and at this moment, it's kind of hypocritical of us because we're not the welcoming country. Trump doesn't want us to be the welcoming country
Yeah.
that, fulfills those immigrants' aspirations. He doesn't want
There's a, yeah.
certain immigrants coming to this country.
Right, and they claim that they're gang members. We don't support gang
Gang
members.
members.
We don't support gang members. But people, as the Supreme Court said, are entitled to a trial. You can't just round people
Well,
up. They, on 60 Minutes, they said that like 90% of the people that they sent down to that El Salvador prison
Didn't have a
had
hearing.
no criminal record at all. 90%. One man, our government agreed, said we sent him there by mistake. He shouldn't be there.
And
But
they're
then
not
when
a-
they told him to bring him back, they said, well, we don't have no control about that.
Right,
Which
we
is a
can't get El
blatant lie.
Salvador to do it.
They have a contract with El Salvador for that prison. They're paying them for a period,
hold.
yeah, so they can, the Salvadorian president, the cool dictator as he's called, is visiting with Trump right now, and he didn't bring him back, he should have.
He could have and should have, and
Right.
probably should have bring them all back so they
Right.
can have due process.
We all
and
want it.
then send it.
Right, because that could be anybody. They're already saying they could send American citizens away if they felt.
Felt they were no longer
Right.
loyal to
So
the
that's
country.
opposed to us. We're the April 4th Coalition, and the reason why we're the April 4th Coalition is because April 4th is the anniversary of Martin Luther King's assassination in 1968. And when he was shot, he was there working for collective bargaining rights for workers, municipal workers in Memphis. And he gave a famous speech, the I Have a Dream speech, and it ends with the rendition of Let Freedom Ring, because he uses that song, My Country 'Tis of Thee, that we all learned in elementary school, that sweet land of liberty.
Liberty.
So let's listen to Martin Luther King's words on this My Country 'Tis of Thee.
Okay.
My country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring. And when this happens, and when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Yep. That day, look, it still looks elusive,
Yeah.
shall I say.
One article or one reporter that Amy Goodman interviewed, she was African-American professor from Columbia University. And the one thing she said about what's going on with the Trump administration, it's no surprise
No, it's not a
to
surprise.
black Americans on how this,
Administration is acting.
right, and as we look at Martin Luther King and what he had to go through. They were fighting for voters' rights. That's what they want to take away. They want to take away Head Start. They want to remove Head Start. They want to take away
Education.
the SNAP program. They want
SNAP
to take the fuel assistance program. They're totally demolishing our society, you
Our
know?
self-protection, and then they're going to say, you find a way to live, because we can't give you a job. There's no job, and that's why I always find I get so frustrated and upset with the with not only Trump, but the Republican Party, who says Americans are lazy, they don't want to work. Well, hell, you haven't given them an economy that they can work in.
And let us have some control over where that money's spent, you know?
Right.
You know-
Americans shouldn't be scraping by to try to keep housing, clothing, and food.
Right. They're trying to take us back past
They're going
the Great
backwards,
Society, where poverty was the enemy, where they declared war on poverty. So this is an old gospel song. It's called "Oh Freedom." It's sung by the Golden Gospel Singers, and it's one of the best civil rights songs. And let's take a listen to it, and you tell me what you think.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. Over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my own grave and go home to my Lord and be free. No more weeping, don't you know? No more weeping. No more weeping over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my own grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Freedom. Oh, freedom. Freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. I'm going home to my Lord and be free.
Take a deep breath, Sue.
I know, talking about freedom. We don't have freedom anymore. It's terrifying. I mean, El Salvador, what they have in those prisons, don't even have mattresses. They
Yep.
have the metal. That's what they sleep on, and there's no hygiene or anything like that. It's like, I mean,
And it's-
tuberculosis and I mean, and they want to send their citizens there too. That's what, I
they do.
mean, the prisons nowadays, can you imagine, they have televisions and everything, but they want to ship, the United States said that they wanted to ship somebody if they had criminal records that were terrifying. I mean, who's going to
Right.
be the one that's going to
Who's
decide
gonna be
that?
arbitrated? Let's go
That's
to
what I
court.
want to know.
You know, freedom, we talk about
But in
freedom.
it's like an elusive dream or something.
Well, I remember this quote. It's from the 1980s, and it was a farmer who he had put some of his grain. He rented space in a silo, and then the silo company went bankrupt. So they took his grain. The court took his grain, and they were going to sell it. And he went to take his grain out and got arrested because he was taking his grain back.
Yeah.
And I remember his name was Krebs. And he said, he was so articulate, they asked him, he says, well, a lot of people in America think freedom is something that's laid in your lap. But it's not. It's something that you have to stand up for.
Right.
And he said, if every time that when you don't stand up for freedom, then that means the next guy in line's got to stand
Stand
up
up
that
for
much higher and talk that much louder. And
For freedom.
we've seen these people, they said, you know, lay me in my grave. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a
They're
slave.
slave.
And so, you know, I think we have to take a look at the 20 lessons that we have this Timothy Snyder book that we've been quoting a lot, but we have a new video that was read by John Lithgow. He's an actor. He
Yes,
was-
I know John, yeah.
And but this is the 20 lessons from the 20th century, and they felt just on March 31st, they said it was really important. Let's go over those again. So let's
right.
take 10 minutes and go over those 20 freedoms, 20 lessons.
All right.
Hi, I'm John Lithgow. I'm going to read you 20 Lessons on Tyranny by Timothy Snyder. You may have already heard these, but it's time you heard them again. Number 1, do not obey in advance. Most of the power of authoritarianism is freely given. In times like these, individuals think ahead about what a more repressive government will want and then offer themselves without being asked. A citizen who adapts in this way is teaching power what it can do. Number 2, defend institutions. It is institutions that help us to preserve decency. They need our help as well. Do not speak of our institutions unless you make them yours by acting on their behalf. Institutions do not protect themselves. They fall one after the other unless each is defended from the beginning. So choose an institution you care about, a court, a newspaper, a law, a labor union, and take its side. Number 3, beware the one-party state. The parties that remade states and suppressed rivals were not omnipotent from the start. They exploited a historical moment to make political life impossible for their opponents. So support the multi-party system and defend the rules of democratic elections. Vote in local and state elections while you can. Consider running for office. Number 4, take responsibility for the face of the world. The symbols of today enable the reality of tomorrow. Notice the swastikas and the other signs of hate. Do not look away and do not get used to them. Remove them yourself and set an example for others to do so. Number 5, remember professional ethics. When political leaders set a negative example, professional commitments to just practice become more important. It is hard to subvert a rule of law state without lawyers, or to hold show trials without judges. Authoritarians need obedient civil servants. and concentration camp directors seek businessmen interested in cheap labor. Number 6, beware of paramilitaries. When the men with guns who have always claimed to be against the system start wearing uniforms and marching with torches and pictures of a leader, the end is nigh. When the pro-leader paramilitary and the official police and military intermingle, the end has come. Number 7, be reflective if you must be armed. If you carry a weapon in public, may God bless you and keep you. But know that evils of the past involved policemen and soldiers finding themselves one day doing irregular things. Be ready to say no. Number 8, stand out. Someone has to. It is easy to follow along. It can feel strange to do or say something different. But without that unease, there is no freedom. Remember Rosa Parks. The moment you set an example, the spell of the status quo is broken, and others will follow. Number 9, be kind to our language. Avoid pronouncing the phrases everyone else does. Think up your own way of speaking, even if only to convey that thing that you think everyone is saying. Make an effort to separate yourself from the internet. Read books. Number 10, believe in truth. To abandon facts is to abandon freedom. If nothing is true, then no one can criticize power, because there is no basis upon which to do so. If nothing is true, then all is spectacle. The biggest wallet pays for the most blinding lights. Number 11, investigate. Figure things out for yourself. Spend more time with long articles. Subsidize investigative journalism by subscribing to print media. Realize that some of what is on the internet is there to harm you. Learn about sites that investigate propaganda campaigns, some of which come from abroad. Take responsibility for what you communicate with others. Number 12, make eye contact and small talk. This is not just polite. It is part of being a citizen and a responsible member of society. It is also a way to stay in touch with your surroundings, break down social barriers, and understand whom you should and should not trust. If we enter a culture of denunciation, you will want to know the psychological landscape of your daily life. Number 13, practice corporeal politics. Power wants your body softening in your chair and your emotions dissipating on the screen. Get outside. Put your body in unfamiliar places with unfamiliar people. Make new friends and march with them. Number 14, establish a private life. Nastier rulers will use what they know about you to push you around. Scrub your computer of malware on a regular basis. Remember that email is skywriting. Consider using alternative forms of the internet or simply using it less. Have personal exchanges in person. For the same reason, resolve any legal trouble. Tyrants seek the hook on which to hang you. Try not to have hooks. Number 15, contribute to good causes. Be active in organizations, political or not, that express your own view of life. Pick a charity or two and set up auto pay. Then you will have made a free choice that supports civil society and helps others to do good. Number 16, learn from peers in other countries. Keep up your friendships abroad or make new friends in other countries. The present difficulties in the United States are an element of a larger trend, and no country is going to find a solution by itself. Make sure you and your family have passports. 17, listen for dangerous words. Be alert to the use of the words extremism and terrorism. Be alive to the fatal notions of emergency and exception. Be angry about the treacherous use of patriotic vocabulary. Number 18, be calm when the unthinkable arrives. Modern tyranny is terror management. When the terrorist attack comes, remember that authoritarians exploit such events in order to consolidate power. The sudden disaster that requires the end of checks and balances, the dissolution of opposition parties, the suspension of freedom of expression, the right to a fair trial, and so on, is the oldest trick in the Hitlerian book. Do not fall for it. Number 19, be a patriot. Set a good example of what America means for the generations to come. They will need it. Number 20, be as courageous as you can. If none of us is prepared to die for freedom, then all of us will die under tyranny.
Yes, I just wanted to, say a few things from that. I mean, number 2, defend our institutions. That's what we did when we were defending that hospital. When we met with the Secretary of the Attorney General, who's now Governor of Massachusetts. I had my book, I had my Timothy Snyder book there with me, and I set it down, and she said, "Oh, I love that book. I buy it, and I give it to all our friends." I said, "Yeah, that's what we're doing here." Part of it says defend institutions. That's why we're here. We're defending our hospital. That's our institution. But we have to continue to do that. But buy the Berkshire Eagle. Buy a newspaper. Buy a local newspaper. I mean,
I actually subscribe. And I do the paper edition. I don't do just the online.
On April 11th, just last Friday, I mean, here's a quote from an article by Thomas Friedman. "To all who aspire to prevent a post-America and post-Israel world, I have only one message. This is the fight of our lives. I am all in, and I'm not tired. How about you?" Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Yep, and scene 2.
Mistakes of the bosses we must pay for. In the cities and the farmlands, the trenches full of mud. War's always been the bosses' way, sir. The Union forever defending our rights. Down with the black leather workers unite. With our brothers and our sisters in many far-off lands, there is power in our union. Now I long for the morning that they realise brutality and unjust laws cannot defeat us.